Hi, in this video, excuse me, we're going to take a look at the compressor function in conjunction with the attack, delay, sustain, and release, the ADSR function, to use those to give yourself a little more variety of sounds with your drum kits, your existing drum kits. So, what I have here is a kit that I put together of various samples from other sources, and it sounds like this. So that sounds good. I mean, I like that, but it's a little too open, too airy. Let's say I want a tighter sound, a little snappier. So what I can do is, within DrumPerfect Pro, every single kit piece can have its own compression settings. You see in the lower left, we're looking at compressor. Okay, this is the kits page, as you see at the top. And if you look all the way down at the lower left bottom, this is where you select what you see in this box. And the functions are listed, it tells you. So you have you can do individual reverberation, and this is an advanced reverb function as well in this. This uses IR functions, room samples. So you can, it's unlimited, the different rooms you could access and use on this. And then you have an individual send, or you can do a complete effect with that, the send function here. But right now, we're going to look at the instrument effects, and particularly the compressor. So I set this up already to save some time, and I wanted to just to show you the fullness of the effect, the difference that we can achieve here. So this again is without the effects, which will be just the compressor and just the ADSR. Let me show you the ADSR while we're here. You see the ADSR by selecting the sample that you want to work on. You can select all of a certain, that would do both sides if I had samples on the right hand. Or you can select individuals. So if I wanted to affect only the low velocity samples, I could do that too, or only the high, either way. So then once you do that, you go to View, over here, you see View, and then you can see what you're doing to each of the samples. Now on the snare, as you can see here, I have an envelope on the snare. What I'm doing here is tightening it up. So, we're hearing that at this point, but I'm going to tighten it up even more by using compression. And the philosophy with this compression type of a setting is a slightly longer attack time, a short release time, and then you adjust the makeup gain and the threshold from there to give you a tight snap at the head end of the strike of the sample. So, this is the wide open sound. Now, utilizing another nice feature, we can go to the mixer here, and I can engage the compressor. If you look at the master fader on the far right, I just hit the compressor button down at the bottom right. Now you can hear the low velocity snare and the rim shot snare have been tightened up. Okay, so here it is without it. And here it is with it. Now to take a look at that ADSR again, go back to the kits. Go back to View. You see, it's just, if the time is to the right, as you can see, the strike and then the time. So what I've done is I'm just lowering the sustain time, keeping the attack at full volume. Now, a couple of things to know about this. If you don't have the sample selected, you can't really work on it. So go back to take the view off and go look at the samples that you want to adjust. You can select all of them, or you can select multiple samples and work on them all at the same time. So if you're not getting the effect you want, you need to go back and make sure that you've sampled the proper samples. So I think I can show you here. If we listen to this snare drum, if I take the compressor off and put it on, you can shorten this release time. And if you shorten the attack time too much, you don't get a chance to even hear the strike. So you just move that up until you start to hear. You want to hear that strike. And then again with the threshold, just experiment with that until you get the right contrast between the strike and the sustain. And as you start to lose volume there, you can make up the gain here. And the knee width is the length that it decays. It's the length of the release time decay. It's kind of like ADSR. So you can further fine-tune it with that. So now this isn't even getting into the EQ. You can further modify these samples pretty much in the same way you do with the ADSR, by selecting them and then modifying them with the EQ. And we'll look at that in another video. So I hope this wasn't too confusing, but I wanted you to see that there's so much flexibility here, and this is really a tremendous advantage with this program. So I hope that helped a little bit anyway. Thank you.